Yes, I'm Joel Riphagen. I am involved with Code for Sacramento. I'm a core team member, which means I do a lot of the same stuff that these people do, but for free. And so we in Code for Sacramento, I'll give you a little bit of what we are. We're a Code for America brigade. So we are affiliated with Code for America, but we are a bunch of volunteers. The brigade program is Legion. There are more than 120 now in the country and some outside of the country as well. This is me and about 50 of my closest friends at the Code for America Summit in September. And the Code for Sacramento experience revolves around these meetups, these hack nights. They happen roughly on a weekly basis. We had one last night. It was pretty cool. It's basically where we turn pizza into projects. We have civic events, we have hackathons and innovation challenges, and all these things revolve around these projects that we're trying to deliver. While technology is what we do, it's not the only thing we do. We know it's not the end. It's really about engaging with the community. So this is a picture from City Camp, which is an event that we held last year where about 120 Sacramentans got together and talked about the issues they're facing, the problems, the things that they want to try to accomplish, and the solutions that they're trying to get to. And we brainstormed ideas and tried to move forward on some of these things. So that's a little bit on Code for Sacramento. So I don't need to lecture you all on the things that you've all heard. So I'm just going to give you a couple of examples about what we have done in connecting government with the community. And I'm going to talk first about the California Health and Human Services Agency, which you've heard about several times already this afternoon. So CHHS has an open data portal, and it's very cool. It's got more than 100 data sets on it, but CHHS recognizes that a data portal is not an end. It's a means, it's a tool, it's a foundation on which you can build something useful. And so in conjunction with the California Healthcare Foundation, they've brought on several health data ambassadors, which are people in the local community, of which myself and Ash Ragani, my colleague, are a couple here in Sacramento. And it's our job to try to connect the data with the needs of the local community. And so we do this in several ways. We do this in sort of the traditional civic technologist way of holding a hackathon. So CHHS, or I'm sorry, the Healthcare Foundation funded this hackathon, and we participated in it. And there were a lot of cool ideas, but that's not really connecting to the community necessarily in the way that you really can. So we hold these roundtables as well, where we're talking to the Department of Public Health, we're talking to the local nonprofits, all the people who want to use the state's data, and we're trying to get ideas and understand the kind of products that we can deliver to help them out. So one of these products is asthmastoryca.org. It takes some asthma data from the state's open data portal and visualizes it in a story that you can kind of follow. You can sort of see the asthma rates throughout the state. This happens to be a piece of the website dealing with asthma rates, youth asthma rates in the San Joaquin Valley. And so it provides a way for you to interact with the data and sort of get the information out of it. But sort of serendipitously, I think from the state's perspective, in addition to creating these things that help the local community access the state's data better, we have also been demonstrating for them agile methodologies. We've been doing things in sprints in an agile method, and we've created this site which documents our process so that they can follow. They can see all the sprints that we've done. They can see all of our different iterations at any time. And I think that's really beneficial for them more in the long run, so that they can understand how this process works and continue iterating on that kind of a process. And I think what has really made this project possible is the fact that not only did they open the data, but they engaged with the local community, and they were flexible in terms of what the outcome would be. They let us essentially create what we thought needed to be created. The second quick example I want to give is the City of Sacramento open budget site, which I would also issue as a bit of a challenge to the state as well. So the City of Sacramento also has an open data portal. For the longest time, they did not have any budget data on there, to the point where we had a local volunteer who was trying to scrape all of the data out of the city's PDF and get it into a format that he could analyze and visualize and do all these cool things with. And it was long, and it was arduous, and it was error prone. It was not cool, really. And so in 2015, the City of Sacramento did finally put a lot of their budget data on their open data portal. And then, crucially, they sent a member of the city IT department to our hack nights, to our meetups, said, hey, please, do something cool with this data. And he worked with us, and he showed us, the kinds of things that they had. And so we created this site, openbudgetsac.org, which helps citizens interact with the city's budget data. So we've got, for example, this flow diagram, which is a version of one first done by Open Oakland. But you can essentially follow the revenue types through the funds to the departments. It's a great visual representation of how the money flows through a budget. We have this tree map, which essentially is, that rectangle is the city's budget, and if you click on any one of those rectangles, you can drill down and see in more detail the different sizes of the city's budget, all color-coded based on how much they've changed from year to year. And for the really wonky among you, like myself, if you want to really ask a detailed question from the city's data, you can go to this tool, which will allow you to ask a question and see if you can get to the answer. So in this example, I've selected the mayor-council budget, drilled it down to the regular hours, essentially his salary, and then divided it by sections of the mayor-council department, so you can compare the salaries in the mayor's office to each of the city council districts. It essentially helps you to get to the information that you're trying to get out of the budget without having to flip through the whole PDF. And so I think what has really worked in both of these cases is that government was, sure, it opened its data, but that was really just the first step. They came and engaged with the community, and they were flexible. They said, we want you to do something cool with us, and you can create what you think is good. So as you in government are figuring out how you're going to bridge the gap between yourselves and the community, I urge you to consider your local civic technologist as one cable of that bridge. Thank you.
So thank you, everyone who's come out to hear what all of our speakers had to say today. If you have colleagues who weren't able to make it, we have taped this, and we will be putting it and making it available on our website shortly. So with that, I encourage you to continue to chat with the experts that we have and network. And again, thank you so much for coming.